Hello guys, welcome back to Super Guy Boy Show, and today we're going to review the new Billie Eilish record, Happier Than Ever. Billie Eilish wasn't somebody I was expecting to get into. It wasn't until I heard singles like Lost Cause and NDA. I liked how moody Billie's vocals were while mixing with these jazzy and lo-fi pop instrumentals. So coming into this thing, I was expecting something decent or okay, but instead this album was surprisingly amazing. The thing that hit me the most after the first listen was how stripped back the instrumentals are. A lot of the instrumentals here aren't really something eventful. They're dreamy like, they have this minimalistic lo-fi quality to them, and mixes very well with Billie Eilish's low-key singing, which has grown on me every time I listen to this record. I like the intro cut here, especially growing older. The instrumental is just this repeating 808 synth drum that barely changes. You'll sometimes get a synth well on the intro, but once Billie Eilish starts singing, we get these lyrics about strangers at her door who are deranged, but they're the only people that ever wanted her. I read these lyrics as more about fans, obsessed as fans, but the thing is that she realizes that they're the only people that ever actually wanted her before, as she never had that kind of affection. Other lyrics also about how she usually over-exaggerates her stories because she cannot heal from the trauma that she got from them, but even still, if she's trying to get attention from these, she's still getting ignored. Which I think that this is a great tone setter for this album. I think it's a great intro and a great opener to this one. Unfortunately, things kind of go a bit down with the second track, Didn't Change My Number. I don't think the groove on the instrumental fit with Billie Eilish's low-key singing. In fact, it kind of threw me off a bit. Luckily, the next track, Billie Bossa Nova, I know I probably said it wrong, someone correct me in the comments. It picks up the album very quickly. I like the looped acoustic guitar in the instrumental. The melody is pretty catchy, and Billie's low-key singing is amazing here. If you're looking for a more catchy and pop track that is like a great example, it's this one. My Future has maybe one of Billie Eilish's best singing on the album. It's great, and especially that refrain of "I'm in love." I like that shit. The lyrics are also on the more positive notes as she sings about how she's looking forward to the future. It's kind of a breakup song about how she's gonna move on with the relationship and how she's not gonna come back. And the beat has this subtle build up to it, and when it hits that glistening beat switch to it, it sounds just amazing. The simple drums and the bass line sounded nice to hear. Oxytocin was a track that I was originally on the fence with, but now I appreciate it more for what it is. This weird electropop instrumental sounds actually amazing with Billie Eilish's vocals. She sounds menacing here, and then when she starts yelling on the track, it gives it that energy that kind of reminds me of Yeezus. I know it's a weird comparison. It gives me a bit of that Hold My Liquor vibes. Unfortunately, the track that follows after, Goldwing, really throws it off a bit. I like the first half with this harmony singing. It was nice. It's just the second half that just feels incomplete. The track just abruptly ends very unsatisfying. It's the weakest track here. Lost Cause picks up the album, and I feel like compared to the other tracks, it's decent. Although Halley's Comet is maybe my top 3 favorite tracks on here. I like how raw her lyrics feel, singing about how she's forcing herself not to love this person that's keeping her up at night. The second half is also her being confused, not knowing what to do in this situation because she's basically in love, but she doesn't want to be in love with this person anymore. My only issue with this song is that maybe the beat switch feels a bit thrown together, but even still, I love the jazz chords on the first half and the reverb piano on the second half with these vocoder vocals. They sound beautiful as fuck, for real. The next track, or interlude, Not My Responsibility, is more like a detour of Billie Eilish doing some sort of spoken word of Billie talking about people who have opinions on her, her music, or her clothes, and her opinions. Not one of my favorites on here, but there's some qualities I like. I like how kind of claustrophobic it is, where the instrumental is just this looped synth chord. At some points, the track does get kind of uncomfortable and not really particularly a great moment on here, but I feel like for what it is, there are still some qualities of it that I do like a lot. It does lead nicely to the other track, Overheated. The lyrics I read as more her directly talking to people, like why are they confused that she looks normal like the rest of them, and then brings up how is it because she didn't have plastic surgery like other people. I do like more of the message than the song itself, but it's still a highlight. The next track, Everybody Dies, has one of Billie Eilish's rawest performances I heard. And as the title suggests, it's about the fear of everyone dying around you and even you one day going to die. The singing feels so raw and very emotionally packed with even her sounding like she's on the verge of crying. And her last verse is very heartfelt of talking directly at people who are facing death and how it's okay to feel sad and how you're not alone because everyone's gonna face it one day. For one more track to bring up, Therefore I Am has this snappy instrumental and this chorus that is so catchy. Overall, I loved what I heard here. I love a lot of the songs here, and really the weaker points on this album aren't really that weak. They're just average at best. I enjoyed this album a lot, and I do get why people may not like her music or may not like this album, but for me, this album was entertaining to listen to all the way through, and hopefully y'all will also enjoy it. I am feeling a 9 out of 10 on this thing. Close, not closer to an 8, not closer to a 10. It's just a 9 out of 10 for me. And hopefully y'all enjoy it, enjoyed the review. I'll leave a description to the album below. And yeah, see ya.